Joining us now on the phone from Anchorage is Deborah Hersman, chairperson of the NTSB. Deborah, good morning.
Good morning, Harry.
What is the most important thing you'll be looking for at this crash site?
Well, our investigators really need to get to the crash site. That's the most challenging thing right now with the weather. As you know, the survivors got weathered in overnight last night, and they were finally able to get them off yesterday. And so we haven't been able to get to the crash scene because of the weather.
How important will it be to talk to these survivors? Because clearly they will have a story to tell.
It's absolutely critical for us as we put together the pieces of the puzzle of this accident to talk to the survivors, because they are our best source of information about what happened. Unfortunately, the pilot is deceased, and so we won't have an opportunity to get his perspective on the accident, but we certainly want to talk to those survivors. But our first priority now is to make sure that they get the medical attention that they need.
Weather seems to certainly have been a factor in this, though you're talking about a pilot who had thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of experience.
Well, and that's, exactly why we're here, to try to figure out what happened, see if there's anything that we can do as far as recommendations to prevent something like this from happening again. Looking at the pilot's experience, certainly he's a high-time pilot, but we need to understand how familiar he was with this aircraft and this route. There's a lot still that needs to be done.
How much comes into play in terms of the decision to fly or not to fly? If the weather is a little bit dicey, I'm a pilot who has a lot of experience. I have a couple of very high-profile passengers here. Does pressure build on a pilot to say, hey, I'm a bush pilot, I live in Alaska, I know how to do this?
Well, I think it's really too early to make any judgments about what may or may not have transpired, because we really have very little information to go on right now. And so until we gather that information, we're going to be looking at everything. We're going to be looking at the weather. We're going to be looking at operations. We're going to be looking at the aircraft, at the experience of the pilot. And so we haven't ruled anything out at this point in time, and everything's on the table.
Deborah Hersman, thank you very much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it.
You're welcome.